What's going on? What's going down? This Hood Atheist. I'm back again, y'all. I'm back with another one. So, for this one, I figured the title for this one would be The Way the World Works. And the reason why I named this one The Way the World Works is because, in all actuality, all of us that is cognitively there knows how the world works. And I can explain it. We know for a fact, if we run across the street while cars are coming, that most likely we'll get hit. Possibility we can make it to the other side. There's a possibility that we can die. I mean, we know if we pour water out of a cup without anything to catch it, it's going to hit the floor. We know if you shoot someone in the head point blank range with a shotgun, let's to say, most likely they will die. We all know these things. And I mean, it's the way the world works. It's the way people know how to survive. This is what makes us human, is knowing the way the world works, knowing what to do, what not to do, how to limit these errors in life just by knowing the way the world works. I mean, kids understand the way the world works. Kids understand if you throw a basketball down at the floor that it's going to come up. They understand how to bounce a ball. I mean, all these things that we understand, but yet and still, when it comes to something like God, we try to rationalize something that we've never seen before and we know not to ever to work. I mean, we know that an old guy like Noah cannot build a boat of that size with two of each animal. First of all, that would take forever to do. To even get the animals together in one place would be a task. We know these things for a fact because we know the way the world works. We know for mostly a fact that if a lion comes across a deer or any any animal that's down under his food chain, most likely that lion is going to kill that animal. So why would we think that these animals could just get together and, without harming each other, without it being just chaos? Can you imagine that scenery, the chaos within that scenery? We know all these things not to be true because we know the way the world works. We know that these things are not possible. We never seen miracles. For instance, we have never seen any leg grow back. We haven't seen somebody pop out of the grave from being a skeleton. I mean, we know these things because we know the way the world works. So the question would be with that is, why do we turn a blind eye when it comes to the Bible? And the Bible is just full of a lot of stories that does not coincide with the way the world works, how we know it. I mean, the stories in the Bible would make you think that, okay, what's going on here that's not going on in my reality? I mean, I could take this back from when I was a kid, and I was forced to read the Bible. So I was forced to do this. And as reading the Bible as a kid, I had a lot of questions to what was going on within that book. And the questions that I had was very simple, is because what was happening in the book was magical. And I felt like once I closed that book and I was dealing with the reality I was in, I wasn't seeing what I was reading. I wasn't seeing guys come back from the dead. I was not seeing guys, you know, walk on water. I wasn't seeing none of this. I wasn't seeing no healing going on. I was seeing people die. I was seeing people being born. I knew these things to be a fact because I knew the way the world works. So the question I always had as a kid was, well, why is these things different? Why does these things seems to clash? Why does my reality doesn't coincide with what I'm reading? And I mean, the more I asked questions, the more the story fell apart. I mean, at 9 years old, I made up my mind to say, wow, this doesn't make any sense. This is not real. And at 9 years old, I was able to figure out this puzzle that seems to plague, I mean, even adults to this day. And I couldn't wrap my mind around what was happening in a book from what I was seeing. And if Jesus or God was living beings, then why wasn't I seeing the miracles that were so rampant within the Bible? I mean, everywhere you turn, there was people being healed. Why did that change? I mean, why did over 600,000 people pass away from the coronavirus? All of them couldn't been bad. I know some of them. Good people, very good people. So the question is, why isn't the book coinciding what's happening in real life? Did God take a break all of a sudden? Is that what happened? He got tired again, like how when he rests on the seventh day and he just said, you know what, I'm not going to do anything for a while. I'm on vacation and I'll just come back, when I can, and help people. Is that what happened? Because that can be the only explanation on why the book is different from what we're seeing in reality. There's nothing in the book that's happening in our reality that's real. I mean, people are not coming back from the dead. We know this because when people die, they die. And I mean, we can make strong arguments for, clinically dead and that kind of thing. But let's just say if a person dies for longer than, let's say, a year, that person is dead. If that person starts decomposing, that person is dead. There's no coming back. So, I mean, how was that process for Jesus to even come back when he died? I mean, when his body started decomposing, did his cells just come back together? How was that process? So when we look at the big picture and we see everything, and the Bible's not coinciding with what we're seeing in reality, we have to make this option and this choice to say, well, what I'm living is real, and what I'm seeing in the book is not coinciding how I'm living and how the world works. So why do we still believe in these things? Why do we still believe in magic? Why do we still believe in these things as adults? And I would say the reason why we still believe in these things, because a lot of the times, like myself, it's indoctrinated within you and it's nothing you really can do about it. It's something that you grew up with and it stays with you. And in order for you to see things different, you have to live life and look at things differently. Look at how the way the world works. Look at it. Your grandmother has never came back after she died years ago. That didn't happen. None of these things that you see in the Bible is happening in our reality. And that should show you something, because we all know the way the world works. All right, man. It's a Hood Atheist, man. It's another one. Over and out. I got y'all again.